Let's begin.
Alright guys, so today we're going to be trying to explain some music theory stuff. And for starters, we're going to just go over an A minor scale, which is pretty easy because it's all the white keys. This is your first, your second, your third, your fourth, and your fifth, your sixth and your seventh, and then you call this your first again because that's the same note. You see? A and A. Now, important thing that everybody should realize, maybe this is obvious to you, but this is an A minor scale, this is a G sharp minor scale, this is a G minor, and so on and so forth. As long as the distance between each of these notes is the same, then it's still a minor scale depending on where you start. This is not an A minor scale. This is not an A minor scale. There are different distances there. Okay, so that is an A minor scale. Here, we are starting to make chords out of the A minor scale. This is the first and the fifth of your chord. Why do I say the first and the fifth? Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're only using the white keys, remember, because the A minor scale only consists of the white keys. So here is the first and the fifth sort of genderless versions of every chord that you can make in the A minor scale. Okay, that is your 1 chord, your 2 chord, your 3 chord, your 4 chord, your 5 chord, your 6, your 7, and again, your 1 chord. Now, all of these chords are important, but 2 of them get special names because they come up a lot, and that's your 4, the subdominant, and your 5 chord, the dominant. 4 is the subdominant, 5 is the dominant. We'll talk about that later. Okay, now we are going to add a gender or a quality to each of these chords. And that is being done by adding the third. Well, what is the third? In this case, for the A minor, our first chord, it is the C. And that is because if we stay within our scale, all the white keys, it is the third step. A, B, C. First, second, third. D would be your fourth, E would be your fifth. Now this first chord, the A minor, it's minor because it's got a minor third. The C is 3 semitones up from the A. Now over here we've got a C major chord, and that is major because you've got a major third. That means the E, which is the third of the C major, that is 4 semitones up. So minor third, 3 semitones, major third, 4 semitones. That's what dictates if it's a minor chord or if it's a major chord. Now what's up with this diminished chord? We got this B diminished here. Well, it's basically a minor chord except it's got a flatted fifth. Whereas every other chord has a perfect fifth, 7 semitones up from its root. In A, it would be E. In C, it would be G. Well, for this B diminished, it's got a flatted fifth, meaning its fifth is only 6 semitones up. Should you give a shit about the diminished chords? For the music most of you guys are making, probably not. So we're going to move on. Okay, so these are all the A minor chords. You have an A minor, you have a B diminished, you have a C major, and so on. Now, another thing that's sometimes confusing for people is inversions. As long as you have an A, and you have a C, and you have an E, that is an A minor chord. You could put the C on the bottom, you could put the E in the middle, you put the A on top, still an A minor chord if it consists of these 3 notes. Here, again, that's another inversion. You put an E on the bottom, and then an A, and then a C. So there are basically 3 different versions of this chord. Finally, when you do the next inversion, you find you actually just made this inversion again, just an octave up, okay? But it's the same thing. These are all A minor chords. You simply have a different leading voice. E is the leading voice here, A is the leading voice here, C is the leading voice here, E is again the leading voice there. Okay, that should all feel pretty basic. Now I want us to think about what are the combinations of notes when we're making a melody that will make it feel happier or make it feel more dark. What tends to make something darker is when you focus on the half-step relationships. Now if we take a look at this E here, if we went down staying in our A minor scale, we would do a full step, 2 semitones down to the D. But this melody goes from the E to the F and back to the E. Those are half-step relationships, and you wind up with a very dark, edgy sounding melody. Okay, that's Booyah. Now here is Booyah, but I've taken away all of the half-step intervals, as we call them. Interval is a distance between 2 notes. And now listen. It's just got a little bit happier, a little bit less edgy. Now let's take a step back. When you look at this A minor, the notes are all the white keys. Well, you can make another scale with all the white keys, C major. All you do, you just start on the C. Play all the same notes, you just start on the C, okay? Still all the white notes. Because these two scales share the same notes, they have a very special relationship. They are relatives. C would be the relative major of A minor, and A minor would be the relative minor of C major. Okay, so they're very closely related. Now, you might think, what the hell is the difference? Well, there is a subtle difference stylistically. Take a listen at this. We are writing in A minor or C major, depending on how you want to look at it. But on this version of this melody, we are going to create a focus on the A minor aspect of all the white notes. They're all the same white notes, but we're going to focus on it being an A minor melody. So look. If you notice, we're basically spelling out the A minor chord. This would be an A minor chord. And look at these first notes that we're doing. We're focusing on this half-step relationship here, which is already a kind of minor thing to do. And we're basically spelling out the A minor chord here. Look what happens with the same chords underneath if we do a C major focus melody. Notice we're kind of spelling out the C major here in our melody. Feels happier. Again, compare minor. Then major. And this is a way that you can make a more uplifting melody without being cheesy. And here's what I mean. Most people do not write songs in major keys these days because you run the rest of everything just being too happy. If we put C major and then a G major, and then we're going to put an F major. So we're really hitting all these major chords, okay? Put the same one over here. Look what this sounds like. Now it sounds like we're writing a theme song for a kid's TV show or something. By putting a C major focus melody over these very, kind of moody minor chords, you can wind up with something that has a duality of being uplifting, but not being cheesy. Now you guys know about the A minor scale. The next video, we're gonna get a little more exciting and look at how you can get away from the normal minor and major.